What is going on, Bulls Nation? So the Bulls fell to the Cavs again, but they put up a fight up until it got out of hand towards the end. But there's a few takeaways on this game, and we're going to talk about that right after this.
This is your home for all things Chicago Bulls. Join the conversation. You're listening to Chicago Bulls Nation.
All right, Bulls Nation. So the game was pretty competitive, and there's a lot of good takeaways from this game. There's a lot of positives. I wouldn't. There's some negatives, of course, because we lost. But overall, I like how our guys played. Vooch once again very efficient. 25 points, 11 of 16, 2 out of 4 from the three-point line. Kobe White exploded in the third quarter. He had just exploded with 29 points, 8 out of 15, 6 of 11 from the three-point line. Also, Patrick Williams almost had double digits in assists. There was a point where Billy Donovan made him a point forward and was pretty effective, as evident from this 9 assists. Now, is this going to happen every night? I don't really want to. I want him to be a power forward. But him making good decisions is not a bad thing. I mean, he did had 3 turnovers, but I guess that's something expected. He also had 17 points, 4 out of 5 from the 3-point area. So that is a pretty good stat line right there for Patrick Williams. Zach LaVine, single digit, nowhere to be found tonight. Having a rough night shooting, 4 out of 16. Josh Giddey, only 15 minutes, 2 out of 9, 1 out of 5. And an abysmal negative 27 when he's on the floor. No turnovers, though, thank God. Kobe White had 4. Zach LaVine only had 1 turnover, which is, a pretty good stat line for him, even though he had 37 minutes. Jalen Smith had 6 points. I would love to see Jalen Smith be there more. There was a point where the Bulls started, pulling away. Well, pulling away they captured the lead. They had this big lineup, and I liked it. Like with Jalen Smith in there, with Patrick Williams. I think it's pretty effective. Dalen Terry, I like his activity on the floor. He had 6 points, 18 minutes. That's pretty good. Julian Phillips as well. They're coming up big. Our young guys. Ayo Dosunmu, as always, Mr. Reliable. 6 out of 9, 2 out of 3 point three-pointer. 15 points. He's negative 17 though. I don't know why. Perhaps because of the turnovers is not bad. He only had 2. Matas had 8 minutes and a positive 8 with 9 points. I like that. 3 out of 3 from the 3-point area. He showed a lot of good defense in this game. Matas, blocking shots, rebounding the ball. Again, I would love to have more minutes for him to get comfortable on the floor and to have a consistent, I would say, role on this team. Perhaps that's not going to happen till we have Zach and Vooch on the floor, but as of now, I just want him to be acclimated playing, not even playing with those guys, just being on the floor and doing stuff, because he needs to be more. I guess it's safe to say that Kobe and Ayo are going to be the players that are going to stay in here. I would say that. Maybe Julian Phillips as well. The young guys that are going to play with Matas, at least for the time being, with Patrick Williams. I want it to be floor with them. If we could. If we can give him more reps, get him, just him being out there, feeling the game, the physicality of the game, knowing when to cut, when not to cut, when to take the shot, when to help on defense. I think that's going to be pretty effective for him in the long run. Look at Patrick Williams. We don't want to wait 4 years before Matas develops like Patrick Williams. We want him to develop, as soon as possible, not on the second contract as much as possible. But, there's a lot of positives here. The negatives, obviously, is Josh Giddey. Is he a part of the future? He's getting 15 minutes, benched really towards the end of the game, or a better portion of the fourth quarter, and this is not the first time that it happened. This is the 4th straight game that he hasn't finished the game, and he hasn't looked good. He's not a fast guy. He's not an athletic guy. He's not a shooter. He just doesn't do anything well enough that would dictate how the game would flow. The Bulls want to play fast, but he is not fast. When given the opportunity to be on the fast break, he always blows a layup. His assist is not really, something that will blow your mind away. He passes the ball, but he's not the playmaker that Lonzo was. He's just there, really. And I've said this multiple times now, but this is alarming because our biggest weakness right now on this team, and this team looked better than the team last year. And I know that's hard to say because we just lost DeMar, but the pace that they're playing looks pretty good. It's just the defense is just really not clicking. And ironically, if we had a good perimeter defender like an Alex Caruso, we would have been a better team. Josh Giddey was supposed to be here to make Zach look good. So, be a playmaker, unlock those potential. But recently, he's just there. He's not hurting the team per se, but when Ayo's in the team, we're better defensively. I guess you can call that hurting the team. I don't know. He has some good qualities, don't get me wrong. And are we still gonna hold on to the notion that there's still time to grow for him? Perhaps, but I'm glad that they didn't sign him for the big contract because right now he is not earning it. I don't even know how much is a right deal for him because Patrick Williams is getting 20 million. He's not Patrick Williams. He hasn't made that leap, whether in OKC or here. He made the game flew by him. I don't know. I'm gonna create a separate video about the future of Josh Giddey or non-future of Josh Giddey with the Chicago Bulls. But the two guys that I wanted to shine is obviously Zach and Vooch. As a matter of fact, I don't even mind Vooch staying. With his contract right now is pretty decent, 20 million. I don't know if there's any guy out there that we can actually get, but having Zach LaVine and Kobe White is a hit or miss for the Bulls. If they're both clicking, great, but they're not a perfect match. They're like DeMar. They're both playing the same position. They almost have the same height. Kobe's a better rebounder, better defender. Not by much. He still makes a lot of mistakes as well. But you can't have two of those guys out there on the floor. But if you make me choose, obviously I'll choose Kobe because he is young in a team-friendly contract as well. So, man, we got to make Zach look good and get him out of here right away so we can have a better rotation and maybe slot in Matas in there. But it's not going to happen if he keeps on playing like this or if Josh Giddey's not helping him out. Josh, man, you were brought in here to be a facilitator to make these guys look good so we can hand over the reins to you and Kobe and Matas. You're not going to do that if you're sitting on the bench, Josh, and shooting 1 out of 5 from three-point area. I know he wasn't a good shooter. I didn't know he was not fast. He couldn't leave anyone off the bounce. He couldn't, he couldn't leave anyone off the dribble. Nothing. I mean, it's going to be hard to be really good in assists because none of these guys are cutting. So, I don't know. We'll see. But when is the Bulls' next game? I think it's tomorrow. So until then, we'll wait. But yeah, the Bulls are playing good. They played hard. They played tough. It's just Cleveland. It's just way better. But thank you for watching. Hopefully you like this video. Give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you are a Bulls fan. And I will see you in the next video.